Between the Baseline Show, brought to you by Ron Lynch, financial advisor at Edward Jones Investments in Maysville, here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components on the SHAC Sports Radio Network.
Goodbye winter, hello spring. Longer days brings extra time to come to Jerry Haig Motors and look at our inventory of new Chevrolets and a great selection of local trades. Truck Month is back with 2.9 APR financing for up to 72 months on selected 25 Silverado 1500s to well-qualified buyers. At Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro, we want your trade and will offer top trade allowance. No gimmicks or tricks. I'm Steve Haig and I want your business.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
Keep the batters honest. He plays more on putting the ball in play, and that's a good thing at this level. I actually like that better than some of the kids that are trying to strike everyone out. Get the ball in play, let your defense work for you, and that's a nice-looking pitch on the outside for strike one. So we'll go 2 balls and a strike now on Faring. He'll be followed by Ryder Lunkin, A.J. Roy, and Braden Crone. We appreciate Maggulac Tire Service for bringing us a roster report. It's a bounder to the shortstop, Applegate. He'll bobble it, quick throw across, and it's too late in the dirt. He's safe. And that will be an E6 to start things off. And that'll put the first runner on first base, and that'll bring Ryder Lunkin to the plate. He's the second baseman. He's a right-handed batter. This will be his 21st at bat. He comes to the game with a 200 batting average, but a 333 on base percentage. Runner on first base. Pretty conservative lead. Hildebrand takes a look over his left shoulder. He's a right-handed pitcher. He shows bunt. The pitch is outside for a ball. Ball one. Again, behind the plate, Kevin Pickrell. Kevin, pretty well known for a pretty good-sized strike zone. I happen to like that as well. Let's put the ball in play. Let's get things going. The players like it as well. As I want to remind you, as that pitch catches the outside edge for a strike. And that's no balls and 2 strikes, actually, as Hildebrand gets a sign from the catcher, Barnhart, and it's down in the dirt for a ball. This and every game this season is brought to you by People's Monument Company. Sharing the life of a loved one isn't just important today, it's important forever. Hildebrand working very, very quickly, gets the ball back, and he puts it in play. Curved ball, strike 3. First strike out of the inning, first strike out of the ball game. Now there's 1 down. The runner remains at first base. That's Caleb Faring. To the plate will come A.J. Roy, the third baseman. Now, A.J. has batted 21 times. He's had 5 runs, 8 hits, 4 RBIs. And with a 381 batting average, that runner on first base. Opportunity knocks for Fayetteville. Hildebrand quickly the sign again, and quickly the pitch, and a curveball is hit deep into center field, high in the air. Colvin moves in to make the play. It'll be 2 down. The runner will hold at first base. Check that. I was blocked by the umpire. That actually was a 1-hop base hit to center field. I am sorry. It was high in the air, but shallow. And that'll put runners on first and second with 1 down, and it'll bring Braden Crone, the center fielder, to the plate. Now, Braden, a left-handed batter, 250 batting average, and he jumps on the first pitch. It's a pop fly, shallow left field. Out there to bring it in is Applegate, 2 down. Applegate ranging over almost behind third base to track that one down. That'll bring Alex Williamson, the left fielder, to the plate. Now again, runners on first and second. No score in our ball game. 2 down. Hildebrand again takes his time looking to runner, this time at second base. Slowed down quite a bit considering the runner on And that pitch down for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Blake Rugenstein, the catcher, on deck for Fayetteville. You know, join Good Guys Radio TV for their annual SHAC track meet on Tuesday, May 13th. All 10 SHAC schools, as that pitch is inside for a ball. All 10 SHAC schools will come together to compete at Lynchburg High School. Tune in for that. It's always a big event. Better than watching on TV. Go out and watch the kids play. That pitch a little high. And now Williamson ahead in the count, 3-0. Again, runners on first and second with 2 down. But all 10 schools there, and it is always very competitive. And a lot of people don't talk about it as much as maybe some, as that's a hard hit fly ball to left field. Bryce Young is back. He'll take it almost the line, over the shoulder catch, 3 down. That'll be the inning for Fayetteville. Up next, Manchester bats. Fayetteville takes the field. We're back after this. No score in our ball game here on Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components and C103 on your SHAC Sports Radio Network.
Your plan is ready. It's time to build. At CMT Components, we design and manufacture quality building materials for your custom job. If you need metal panels and trim, trusses, or even a complete pole barn package, we do it all, including delivering right to your job site. To get started, call us at 937-446-3400. You can also check us out online or stop by our office in Sardinia, Ohio to discuss your plans today. Let's get building.
Creating a memorial to honor a lost loved one is a time-honored tradition. Whether it's a graveside monument, a cremation monument, or a pet memorial, the craftsmen at Peebles Monument Company will walk you through every step of the process, from concept to completion. Visit Peebles Monument Company, located on North Main Street in Peebles, and online at peeblesmonument.com. Choose Peebles Monument Company because sharing the life story of a loved one with those who matter most isn't just important today, it's important forever.
Craving something new? Snappy is serving up 4 brand new specialty calzones. Try the Meat Deluxe, packed with sausage, pepperoni, and bacon. Or the Deluxe, loaded with a delicious mix of meat and veggies. Garden lovers, don't miss the Veggie Calzone. And for the ultimate combo, dive into the Chicken Bacon Ranch. Order now on the app or visit snappytomato.com. Snappy, where cravings meet their match.
Starting lineup, let's set that defense for the Fayetteville Rockets. On the mound, Tyler Short. Behind the plate, Blake Rugenstein. At first base is Caleb Faring. Second base, Ryder Lunkin. At third base, A.J. Roy. Playing shortstop, Parker Fancook. Out in the outfield and left field, Alex Williamson, Braden Crone in center, and Carter Gallinger in right. For Manchester, it'll be Traven Hildebrand, Luke Applegate, Clayton Colvin, and Thomas Barnhart in that order. As I remind you, it's again time for that Higgins scoreboard update, brought to you by Higgins Steel Roofing, providing professional materials to their professional customers. And there's no score in our ball game so far, as the score 0-0 then, of course. As once again, you know, we want to remind you, the family of Wallace Thompson Funeral Homes reminds you, don't tempt fate. That text can wait. Please put down that phone and drive safely. Hildebrand stands in. He's a right-handed batter. He'll face off against Tyler Short. Tyler, a junior. Tyler, a left-handed pitcher. Sometimes that can create issues for batters. You don't see as many of those, especially at this level, as you do right-handed pitchers. And the first pitch is in, called strike 1. No balls and a strike. Hildebrand comes to the plate with a .278 batting average to start things, and that pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. 1-1. On our sister station, 99.5 The Edge. It's North Adams at Peebles. Ken Smith, Caleb Rayburn bringing that ball game. You might watch our broadcast on C103 and Good Guys, or listen to it on C103 with one ear and listen with the other one. And the count now goes 2 balls and a strike. Now Hildebrand has a .409 on base percentage. That's a nice number, and it's a little pop fly foul out of play down the first baseline. We'll even the count at 2-2. On deck again, Applegate, Manchester, and Fayetteville. And most of the baseball teams this year, interesting enough, very young. Manchester, very young. Even though they have one of the best records in the league, that pitch is in the dirt, ball 3, and we'll go full at 3-2. First full count of the ball game so far. Manchester starting only one senior, and that's Leland Horner. And that's a fly ball in the infield. The third baseman, Roy, is there. He'll make the play. That's one down. With one down, Luke Applegate comes to the plate. He's the number 2 batter in the order. Applegate, the shortstop. .267 batting average. If you're just joining us, I'm Don Bowles. Our producer and director for Good Guys Radio TV, Mr. Matt Hildebrand, and that pitch is inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. On the base pads, out there at first base, Eddie Deemer. And at third base, Matt Carson. They're the umpires tonight. And that pitch misses high and out, ball 2. 2-0. But tune in to 99.5 The Edge if you haven't checked it out. That's our sister station. And if you're down in northern Kentucky, and that pitch is called strike 1, check out WFLE, as they have Fleming County, Kentucky baseball. They're our other sister station. Pitch high and out. And the count now goes 3-1. Applegate ahead in the count. Big hole in right field. Defense playing way overshaded toward left, toward the first baseline. And that pitch is called strike 2. And again, the count will go full. Second batter, second full count. Clayton Colvin, the center fielder, on deck. Gene McElfresh does a great job. He does our sports at WFLE. Check it out. He'll do baseball and softball. Swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout. First one of the game for Tyler Short. Second out of the inning. Clayton Colvin will stand in now. Clayton with an outstanding .526 batting average and a .571 on base percentage. He's up there to play baseball. Left-handed batter facing a left-handed pitcher. Both of those are unusual in high school. I don't mean they're rare, but not nearly as often as they are right hand versus right hand. But lefty-lefty, that's interesting. Let's see who wins this matchup here now. Short, the pitch. Bottom end of the strike zone, strike 1. No balls in a strike. Over on the adjacent field, of course, it's Manchester Lady Greyhounds taking on the Lady Rockets in softball. Pitch again. Big curveball, strike 2. Good looking pitch. That was right down the heart of the plate. As again, the pitch, high and out for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck now, the catcher, Thomas Barnhart, for the Manchester Greyhounds. The only senior starting for Manchester, Mr. Leland Horner. And that pitch is called strike 3. And that'll be the third out of the inning. We move now to the top of the second. No score in our ball game. We're back after this on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components on the SHAC Sports Radio Network.
Don't let a blown tire slow you down this season. Trust Magulac Tire Service in Hillsboro to keep you on the roll and in the field. At Magulac, they offer on-the-farm ag and tire service, saving you downtime and saving you money. Call Magulac Tire Service for all your tire needs at 937-364-2592 or stop in on Route 50 in Hillsboro. At Magulac Tire Service, their emphasis is on great service. That's more than just a slogan. That's the Magulac commitment every single day.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
What we believe matters because it shapes who we are. At First State Bank, we believe in rural communities. We have since our start in 1884. We're proud of where we come from. And while others have come and gone, we've remained, because standing by the folks you believe in is what a real local bank does. First State Bank, built on belief.
We begin the second inning. Fayetteville will bat. It will be Blake Rugenstein, Parker Fancook, and Carter Gallinger in that order. On the mound again, Traven Hildebrand for Manchester, and he hits the batter. And again, Fayetteville starts the inning off with a base runner. So, with the runner on first, Rugenstein got it right in the left shoulder. I think he'll survive. And, you know, it's not cool to flinch or any of those things. You got to act like it doesn't hurt, even though we all know it does. But he makes his way down to first base, and standing in now is Parker Fancook, and that pitch is in for strike one. No balls and a strike. Fancook, a .263 batter. Hildebrand the pitch again. This one down for ball one. 1-1. Fancook, a .263 batter. He's batted 19 times with 4 runs, 5 hits. Runner on first base. No score in our ball game. They throw over to first base. The runner's back. What a beautiful facility they have down here in Manchester. One of the few that has a track around the outskirts of the base, and that's a good-looking pitch. Strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hildebrand again looks at the runner. Now, the Manchester outfielder plays a little more towards center, not protecting first baseline as much, and that's a ground ball to the third baseman. He'll glove it, throw to second for 1. They'll go to first. They will not get the the double, but they will get the lead runner. That's the one that counts. That'll be 1 down as Parker Fancook reaches on a fielder's choice. Nice play by Horner, by the way. And that'll put again a runner on first base, this time with 1 down, though. Carter Gallinger, the right fielder, stands in. Pretty squared up stance. Pretty deep knee bend, though, trying to compact that zone a little bit. And the first pitch is in, ball 1. On deck would be the pitcher, Tyler Short, and after that we'll flip the order. But as I started to say, a beautiful facility down here. Extra fields for the for tournament time, but even more so. They have youth baseball and softball here, so and swing and a miss. He chased one. 1-1. Hildebrand will pitch mostly upper 60s, low 70s. He can tap 80 once in a while. And that's, again, probably pretty average for high school at this level. And that pitch inside. Gallagher gets out of the way of it, so it'll go 2-1. But that's a very competitive speed. Maybe even a little above average, especially if he's tapping 80. We'll see pitchers that actually can regularly pitch in the in the 60s at this level. And the pitch high, ball 3. Hildebrand, not traditionally a starting pitcher, has pitched in his career a lot of relief. As again, the wind in the pitch. And he chases a fastball right down the middle of the plate. Oh, my. And that'll run the count full at 3-2. Thank you to John Wood Insurance, with locations in Georgetown, West Union, Peebles, and Owensville. Proud sponsors of SHAC Baseball here on C103. That's fouled out of play down the first baseline. Will remain 3-2. And don't forget to stay tuned after the game as we name our Snappies Player of the Game. Brought to you by Snappies in Seaman and West Union. I don't have to tell you how wonderful it is to have baseball in. We've had so much rain and so much cold as that pitch misses out. And Hildebrandt gives up his first walk. That'll move Fancook over to second. Gallinger will be at first. With one down, runners on first and second, the pitcher, Tyler Short, will come to the plate. Tyler, not only a left-handed pitcher, he's also a left-handed batter. Real upright stance, not guarding the plate at all. Way back in the batter's box, and that first pitch misses, ball one. 118 batting average, 318 on base percentage, and 17 at bats. And the pitch again. And that one catches the outside edge on the bottom. Good-looking pitch again. 1-1 will go. On deck, the leadoff batter, Caleb Faring. As again, Short. And that one high. 2 balls and a strike. This will be the last game we have this week. We have lots of baseball upcoming. We were supposed to have had a game Tuesday night, but we had rain and swing and a miss, strike 2. We'll go 2-2. And there were some games played, but remember, we're at the mercy of the condition of the fields. And the fields were unable to get them dry enough to play because, of course, we don't have domes and called. Oh, I thought that was going to be a strike. The count goes full at 3-2. Good thing I'm not the umpire. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 down, runners on first and second. No score in our ball game. Oh, swing and a miss. And he records the second strikeout of the ball game. First of the inning. Now we have 2 down. With runners on first and second, Faring will come to the plate. Now, Faring reached on an error in the first inning as we've now found our way through the Fayetteville lineup. Hildebrandt has only actually given up 1 hit so far. He's walked 1 hit, 1 reached on an error, and 1 hit by a pitch. Hildebrandt gets a sign from Barnhart. Faring that bat up above his ear, and that's a little pop fly in above first base. The first baseman steps 1 step to the left. 3rd out of the inning. We move now to the bottom of the second. Manchester bats, no score in our ball game. Back after this on C103.
With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Your Edward Jones financial advisor, Ron Lynch, can help. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, we can work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 481 Tucker Drive in Maysville. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxter Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxter Tractor.
Welcome back. Good Guys Radio TV presented by CMT Components. If you have not checked it out, you need to do so. Of course, you can hear the game as well, but it's fun to watch. High school baseball, we have lots and lots of fans enjoying it, so make sure you check it out as well. Of course, we'll continue on C103, so you can listen while you're driving around. Don't try to watch it while you're driving, by the way. And first pitch by Tyler Short hits the bottom of the strike zone for strike one. It'll be Thomas Barnhart, Carson Inman, Bryce Young in that order for the Manchester Greyhounds. That game Tuesday night, it was supposed to have been Eastern at North Adams. Eastern made their way all the way over to that would have been Manchester at Lynchburg. As Manchester at Lynchburg, they just could not get the field together, and that'll be called strike two, and 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and the first out of the inning. Called strike 3. That's the 3rd strikeout recorded by Tyler Short. Now to the plate will be Carson Inman, the first baseman. He's a left-handed batter. An impressive .353 batting average with a .421 on base percentage. Stands in. That pitch is high, ball 1. But anyway, we were supposed to have had, it was supposed to have been Manchester at Lynchburg. Neither team could get a field together, so at least Lynchburg couldn't. So we do not have a reschedule on that, nor do we have a reschedule on last week Eastern at North Adams game, which is what I started to talk to you about. And that pitch is down, ball 2. Now, next week, we will be back on the air on Monday. Peebles at Lynchburg Clay. And Lynchburg Clay, we've had them as it's a hard hit ball to center field. That'll drop for a base hit. Crone will have to play it on the hop. Actually, Williamson comes over to cover it and safe at first with a single as Carson Inman. So now a runner at first base as Bryce Young, the left fielder, comes to the plate. That's probably the hardest hit ball we've had so far in the ball game. Again, we are in the bottom of the 2nd inning, no score. And that pitch, fastball just about waist high on the inside edge, strike 1. Tyler Short, his first start of the season. Also not a normal starter for this Fayetteville ball club. And that pitch misses in, ball 1. But again, we'll be back on the air. Peebles at Lynchburg on Monday. Tuesday, another doubleheader. Fayetteville at White Oak and North Adams at Manchester. And that pitch curveball, outside ball 2. And then on Thursday, it'll be Eastern at Fairfield on Good Guys and C103. And then White Oak at Lynchburg Clay on 99.5. And then on Friday, Eastern at Lynchburg. We are going to have lots of baseball next week. Tune in and enjoy it. And that pitch is in for a strike. Once again, the count even at 2-2. Runner on first base is Inman. And now we'll go full count. And Short is already throwing a lot of pitches. Manchester very, very patient. Short not necessarily struggling to find the plate, but they're making him as it's a ground ball to the first baseman through the diving fairing into right field. Inman will round second and go into third, and safe at first is Bryce Young with a single to right field. And I know some people are going to say, oh, that was an error. I don't know about that. That was pretty hot. So I'm going to give him a single to right field. That'll put runners on first and third now for the Manchester Greyhounds. So with runners on the corners, Leland Horner, the senior, comes to the plate. He's the third baseman. He already has 3 RBIs on the season. Opportunity here to pad those stats a bit. A right-handed batter. And that pitch is down for a ball as the runner goes. They'll bluff a throw down to second base. You'll often hear me talk about, so they'll have runners at second and third. Rarely, when you have a runner on third base, do they ever make a play on the runner at first base going to second, because that ball gets away and you've got an automatic run given up. And so usually in high school baseball, it's not like the big leagues. High school baseball, they'll let that runner advance to second. They're more worried about the batter than anything at this point. And that pitch in for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. The on-deck batter, Landon Doyle, the second baseman for the Manchester Greyhounds. As the left-handed pitcher, and it's foul back here in front of us. The count will remain 0-2. Thanks to Max Sells Real Estate for sponsoring this coverage. Max Sells Real Estate. They live here. They work here. They know here. Call Max Sells for your real estate needs. And once again, it's time for that Higgins Steel Roofing scoreboard update. Locations in Hillsboro and Jackson. The score, well, there's no score in our ball game. Manchester threatening running on runners on second and third. Short again the pitch. Swing and a miss. Looked like a curveball as he chased it high and in. And Horner strikes out. Second strikeout of the inning. That's the fourth strikeout recorded here by Short. Now with 2 down, to the plate it'll be Landon Doyle. Landon, the second baseman. A right-handed batter again. And the pitch down, ball 1. Runners again on second and third. Inman only 90 feet away to get the go-ahead run. Young at second base. Swing and a miss. He chased an awfully nice pitch there. 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck, the junior Braylon Rickett, the right fielder. And that one in the dirt. Nice job by Rugenstein to keep that in play. Because unlike a lot of the fields, there's a fair amount of room here behind the plate. Not as big as the big leagues. But if it gets past you, especially if it bounds off of this wire fence behind it, it can be a problem with a runner on third base. As Inman gets a lead and a swing and a miss. Nice pitch high and outside. Doyle swings through it. And now we'll go 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shout out to our season sponsor, Willie & Son Trucking. Get your motor running and roll on with Willie & Son Trucking. The pitch down and out. And again, we'll go 2 balls and 2 strikes. Compared to other days we've had the last couple weeks, I know it's cloudy, folks, but this weather is gorgeous. It's a blessing. Now the pitch, way high and outside. It gets past the catcher, and Inman will score from home plate. Exactly as I said, as that was a fourth ball. And on the walk throw, the pitch got away from Rugenstein. It was way high and out, and Manchester scores first as Inman will come in. Young will move over to third. Now at first will be Landon Doyle on a walk, as Inman scores on a wild pitch. You can bet Coach Trey Mead for Manchester doesn't care. At the plate now, Braylon Rickett, the right fielder. Braylon, a .250 batter, again a runner 90 feet away. Shows bunt, it gets away from the catcher. The runner from home third is going to score. And on 2 past wild pitches, as on the play, the runner from first advances all the way to third. So now you have Bryce Young scoring, making it 2-0. You have Landon Doyle advancing to third. Both runs scoring on a wild pitch. And Rickett at the plate again with another runner at third base. Rickett. The pitch way high right here in front of us, and another run will score. As Short having trouble with his control. That was way over the head of Rugenstein. Nailed the fence right here in front of us, and that'll be the third run to score, and Manchester has taken a 3-0 lead. As Rickett settles back in, nobody on now. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Tough inning for Tyler Short. And when he's in it, that one gets past, is he's having trouble with his release point. And when Tyler's around the plate already here in 2 innings, he's done very, very well. He's struck out 2. He's given up 2 hits, but he was not in trouble until those last 2 wild pitches. And they have created major issues for him. Well, not the last 2, but those 2 wild pitches. And that one, fastball outside, and he's back on track. 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck for Manchester with leading 3-0 with 2 outs. Traven Hildebrandt, the pitcher. for the Greyhounds. That one's in the dirt, and he'll walk another batter. That'll put a runner at first. Traven Hildebrandt will come to the plate. Now, Traven 0 for 1 in the ball game, as now Manchester is going through the lineup. And we're going to take a break as Fayetteville's going to send their pitching coach out. There'll be a conversation. We'll be back after this on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components.
Whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or baseball, no matter the sport, the Manchester Athletic Boosters are proud to support it. Games like these are possible due to booster support like the Manchester Athletic Boosters. The Manchester Athletic Boosters are proud to support this broadcast of Manchester sports. Wishing good luck to our Manchester Greyhounds. Go Greyhounds!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the third inning on our sister station, 99.5 The Edge. It's North Adams leading Peebles 1-0. Sounds like a good close ball game over there. Caleb Rayburn, Ken Smith bringing you that one. Of course, I'm Don Bowles here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV. The conversation on the mound breaks up. Short ready to pitch, and it's a fly ball, right field deep, but the right fielder, Gallinger, is there to haul it in. That's a third out of the inning, but not before Manchester scores 3. They take a 3-0 lead. We're back after this on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components.
Big box home improvement stores don't brag about their customer service and knowledgeable staff, and that's because they rarely have either one. Do you really want electrical and plumbing advice from a person who was assembling patio furniture yesterday? Nope. Get what you need from the pros at West Union Electric and Plumbing Supply. They now have an expanded hardware line to complement the electrical and plumbing parts, plus handy tips and advice to help you get the job done. West Union Electric and Plumbing Supply, 1 block south of the courthouse on Walnut Street in West Union.
Goodbye winter, hello spring. Longer days brings extra time to come to Jerry Haig Motors and look at our inventory of new Chevrolets and a great selection of local trades. Truck Month is back with 2.9 APR financing for up to 72 months on selected 25 Silverado 1500s to well-qualified buyers. At Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro, we want your trade and will offer top trade allowance. No gimmicks or tricks. I'm Steve Haig and I want your business.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
Well, you know, if you're over in Fleming County, and a lot of the Kentucky schools, the fields are actually lighted. Not so much here in the SHAC, as either you play it before the sun goes down or you don't play at all. So it's kind of a catch-22. They can't really start the game before 5 p.m. as that pitch hits the batter. And so Lunkin will take his base. That's a second hit batter issued by Traven Hildebrandt. That'll put a runner at first base, and Traven has pitched with a runner on base the entire ball game as we're here at the top of the third. Defensively, by the way, it's Traven Hildebrandt pitching, Thomas Barnhart catching, Carson Inman is at first, Landon Doyle the second baseman, and that pitch in the dirt for a ball, and the runner will move over to second. Give him a stolen base. But again, Thomas Barnhart is catching, Carson Inman at first, Landon Doyle at second, Leland Horner, the senior, at third, Luke Applegate at shortstop. Hildebrandt looks easy, runner, looks again, and now the pitch. Misses out, ball 2. In the outfield, it's Bryce Young in left, Clayton Colvin in center, and in right field, Braylon Rickett. That's once again the Magulac Tire Serve lineup. Magulac Tire Service. Mobile services all over Southern Ohio. They do ag tires, you name it, they do it. Magulac Tire Service. If you want to know their location, you need to go up there, but they'll come out and service your vehicle where you are. But their location is west on 50, west of Hillsboro. The pitch, in for a strike. 3 balls and a strike now. On deck, Braden Crone, the center fielder. Here in the top of the third, Manchester having taken a 3-0 lead. And it's a hard hit ball into center field for a base hit. That should score a run. Rounding third, going home, will be Lunkin. And they thought they got the runner at second as A.J. Roy extended that. And you have to credit him with a double, as that'll be the first run of the ball game for Fayetteville. They'll take a 3-1 lead now to Manchester. Manchester 3, Fayetteville 1. As that'll be a double to center field. That traditionally would have probably been a single, but they didn't get the ball back in. You have to credit the batter for that. A.J. Roy, good heads-up base running. Give him an RBI. And that's a fly ball deep. Rickett is back. It'll go to the base of the fence. Another run will score, and in standing at second base with a double is Braden Crone, and Fayetteville is pulled back within 1. The score 3-2. As we're going to have a conversation at the mound, Trey Mead comes out. We'll take a break. We're back after this on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components.
Your plan is ready. It's time to build. At CMT Components, we design and manufacture quality building materials for your custom job. If you need metal panels and trim, trusses, or even a complete pole barn package, we do it all, including delivering right to your job site. To get started, call us at 937-446-3400. You can also check us out online or stop by our office in Sardinia, Ohio to discuss your plans today. Let's get building.
No pitching change, just a little settling down conversation. Infield and Hildebrandt. Manchester still ahead 3-2. Tying run on second base. Nobody out. And that pitch misses out and gets past the runner. And the runner gets past the catcher, Barnhart, and the runner will advance. Again, this just enough room behind the plate here that if it gets past the catcher, it's off to the races for most of the base runners. Now runner at third base represents the tying run at the plate, Alex Williamson. Pitch misses out again, 2-0. Begin your pathway to completion today with Southern State Community College at sscc.edu. Thanks to Southern State sponsoring our baseball coverage. Good looking pitch, popped up behind the plate. Barnhart loses his mask, catches it off the fence, and it'll be 1 down. Good job by Barnhart. Good hustle. Rugenstein will come to the plate now. With 1 down, a runner again on third base. Rugenstein, the catcher, he's a .273 batter. He's batted 22 times with 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Pulls that left foot way back. His first pitch is in, strike 1. Pulls that left foot way back toward third base. Close it in just a little bit here. Opens that stance up by doing, there he pulls it back. Opens that stance up, and that pitch is called strike 2. Good looking fastball on the outside edge, about knee high. And now once again, Hildebrandt the pitch. And I have to think Hildebrandt might do better without the base runners. You look so much more comfortable with that runner on third rather than having to hold him on the base. At least tonight anyway. And that pitch curveball high and in for a ball. He has pitched with runners on the base the entire evening, except this is the first batter he has faced without having to worry about somebody stealing a base. And that one hits the batter. It'll be the third hit batter of the ballgame, second of the inning. That'll put runners on the corners now with one down for Parker Fancook. Before the game, it's Between the Baselines, brought to you by Ron Lynch at Edward Jones Investments. Listen in early and let Ron help you early for your future. Score is still 1-0 on that game on 99.5 The Edge. North Adams and Peebles. Hildebrand at the pitch. It's called strike one. Fayetteville is not chasing that outside fastball in the bottom of the strike zone. That's easy for me to say, but Hildebrand can keep it there. It'll be very effective. And that's, again, easy for me to say. And just misses. He thought the same thing. Just missed that spot. Good looking pitch, but Fancook wasn't buying. 3-2 the score, one down. Runners on second and third. As that one in the dirt, good stop by Barnhart. We'll go 2-1. We certainly appreciate all of our sponsors, by the way. Listen to who they are. They're your locally owned and operated businesses. They're not the big box stores or the chains or whatever. Ooh, that pitch just missed out to take the count 3-1. Fayetteville's dented the plate twice here in the inning. They still trail 3-2. As that's a little pop fly in the infield, but it'll make its way out of play behind us here. I thought that was going to stay in, but nope. And now the count full at 3-2. And that is only the second full count that Hildebrand has had. He's done a nice job of getting the ball in play. Hildebrand's pitch. Called strike three. Third strikeout of the game for Hildebrand. Second out of the inning for Fayetteville. That brings Carter Gallinger to the plate. Runners remain at second and third. Gallinger, the right fielder, a .269 batter. He's got 5 RBIs already on the season. 2 opportunities out there. Oh, nice curveball, strike one. No balls and a strike. Hildebrand, again, looking much more comfortable without having to worry about those runners out there. It's the pitch again. Oh, another curveball, strike two. He chased it up in his eyes. No balls and 2 strikes. Crone is on third. Rubenstein's at second for Fayetteville. And that pitch misses out, but he wasn't chasing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck, the number 9 batter, the pitcher, Tyler Short for Fayetteville. And again, the pitch. Oh, and that was another good-looking pitch, but this one, Gallinger was able to foul it off. The count will remain 1-2. Gallinger scored 4 runs with 7 hits. He's had 3 doubles, .296 on base percentage. He's a right-handed batter for the Rockets. And Hildebrand outside will go even at 2-2 now. Special thanks to Bethany Gibson, our studio producer. We certainly appreciate her efforts tonight. And a swing and a miss, and Hildebrand works himself out of a jam. They give up 2. It's a 3-2 ball game. Manchester leads by 1. We're back. We move to the bottom of the third. Manchester bats right after this here on Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components and C103, your SHAC Sports Radio Network.
Creating a memorial to honor a lost loved one is a time-honored tradition. Whether it's a graveside monument, a cremation monument, or a pet memorial, the craftsmen at Peebles Monument Company will walk you through every step of the process, from concept to completion. Visit Peebles Monument Company, located on North Main Street in Peebles, and online at peeblesmonument.com. Choose Peebles Monument Company because sharing the life story of a loved one with those who matter most isn't just important today, it's important forever.
Craving something new? Snappy is serving up 4 brand new specialty calzones. Try the Meat Deluxe, packed with sausage, pepperoni, and bacon, or the Deluxe, loaded with a delicious mix of meat and veggies. Garden lovers, don't miss the Veggie Calzone. And for the ultimate combo, dive into the Chicken Bacon Ranch. Order now on the app or visit snappytomato.com. Snappy, where cravings meet their match.
Don't let a blown tire slow you down this season. Trust Magulac Tire Service in Hillsboro to keep you on the roll and in the field. At Magulac, they offer on-the-farm ag and tire service, saving you downtime and saving you money. Call Magulac Tire Service for all your tire needs at 937-364-2592 or stop in on Route 50 in Hillsboro. At Magulac Tire Service, their emphasis is on great service. That's more than just a slogan. That's the Magulac commitment every single day.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Chuck Wade Tire Service is proud to support SHAC Athletics. Visit your ultimate destination for tires, wheels, and more in Morristown at Chuck Wade Tire or at chuckwadetire.com. Chuck Wade Tire. Boy, they have been in Morristown forever, serving the public with great products, great service. And that's leadoff batter up there. Luke Applegate fouls it down the third baseline. Strike 1 to start things off. It'll be Applegate, Clayton Colvin, and Thomas Barnhart in that order. Manchester batting, leading 3-2. As the pitch in the dirt, ball 1. On the mound, Tyler Short. Tyler has struck out 4. He's walked 2, given up 2 hits. There's been 2 errors. They've stranded 1, and 3 runs, 2 of those unearned. As nice, good hard hit ball, right center field. It'll go all the way to the base of the fence, rounding first, going into second with a stand-up double is Luke Applegate. Manchester starts things off with their leadoff batter in second now. Clayton Colvin will come to the plate. Colvin, a left-handed batter. 19 times he's batted, 8 runs, 10 hits, 2 doubles, 7 RBIs with a .526 batting average, and he takes ball 1. Applegate, that's his 3rd double of the season, standing out there on second base. Applegate, the number 2 batter in the order, so we're looking at 2, 3, and 4 here to start things for Manchester. He shows bunt. Nice bunt off the pitcher's mound, comes short. He cannot field it. Safe at first with an infield single. Applegate moves over to third. Now Manchester will have runners on the corners. That brings Thomas Barnhart, the catcher, to the plate. Now Thomas was called out on strikes in the second inning. For the first out of the inning, he's 0 for 1, but he comes to the plate with a .538 batting average. He's got 8 runs, 7 hits, 3 of those doubles, 1 triple, 2 home runs with 9 RBIs and a .632 on-base percentage, and as I said, a .538 batting average. And they do throw down to second. The runner covers it up. The second baseman covers it up, and on the play, the run will score. Applegate just kind of walks in from third base. As I said earlier, not a play that you usually see. As they throw the ball, and I was blocked by the umpire, I know the runner was safe. So Colvin moves over to second now, give him a stolen base. And Manchester now takes a 4-2 lead. Coach Chris Snyder probably not happy with that play there. Is now with a runner on second base, a run in. Barnhart steps back in. The pitch misses in for a ball. It's time again for that Higgins Steel Roofing scoreboard update. Oh, nice curveball. In for a strike. They're showing 1-1 on the scoreboard, I will admit. A little challenging to keep up with tonight. I have 2 balls and a strike. We'll have to see what that is. Yes, pitch, strike 2. Another good-looking pitch on the outside. Again, at Higgins Steel Roofing Studio Update, providing professional materials to their professional customers. The score 4-2, Manchester leading here at Manchester. The wind in the pitch, high. Barnhart thought about it. As the count will, yes, I was correct. The count will now go full 3-2. Nobody out. And the pitch way high, and he walks him. That's the 3rd walk given up in the ball game by Short. That puts runners at first and second now. Carson Inman will come to the plate. Now, Carson had a single to center field. The first really hard hit ball in the ball game, and later scored the first run of the ball game for Fayetteville. And looks like we're going to have a pitching change. I will take a break. We'll be right back after this on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV.
What we believe matters because it shapes who we are. At First State Bank, we believe in rural communities. We have since our start in 1884. We're proud of where we come from. And while others have come and gone, we've remained because standing by the folks you believe in is what a real local bank does. First State Bank, built on belief.
With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Your Edward Jones financial advisor, Ron Lynch, can help. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, we can work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 481 Tucker Drive in Maysville. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxter Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxter Tractor.
Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. On the mound now, Caleb Faring for Fayetteville in relief of Tyler Short. As we have some lineup changes, I'll get those in a second. The pitch is out, ball 2. At the plate for Manchester, it's Carson Inman. Faring has pitched in 8 games. He's check that as I'll give you that in a second as that one gets away from the catcher, but it's fouled off. So we'll go 2 balls and a strike. Faring has appeared in 4 games, 3 1/3 innings he's pitched. He struck out 4 with a 3.3 whip and a 12.60 ERA. Some of these numbers are so misleading, though, early in the season. You know, you can say they'll get better, which they do a lot of times, and sometimes they get worse. But a lot of these are so misleading early in the season. As they throw down to second, the runner was back safe. And I've got 3-1 on Inman. As runners on first and second, and called strike 2. The count will go full. Inman thought that was a walk, but as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, Kevin Pickrell, the umpire behind the plate, one of my favorite umpires, a big strike zone, but it's exactly the same for every batter, every team. It's a hard hit ball to right field. The right fielder will come over. The center fielder will try to make the catch. He drops the ball, though, and the runner will go into second and be out. But Inman is safe at first with a single to right center field. And Barnhart was caught in a pickle because he, not actually a pickle, had a tough decision because he had to wait expecting that pitch, that hit to be caught. Instead, Inman reaches on an error. That'll go down as an E9. Now Manchester will have runners on first and third with one down. And they throw the ball down to second, and another run scores. Colvin comes in to score. Now that'll be the 5th run for Manchester as they now take a 5-2 lead. Inman is out at second base, attempting to steal. And now you'll have 2 down, but another run scored, and that pitch way high back here in front of us. If that one doesn't make you flinch, none of them will. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 runs are in. Both of those runs are on the account of Tyler Short. That pitch is fouled away. 1-1 now. On deck, Leland Horner, the third baseman for the Manchester Greyhounds. Manchester takes a 5-2 lead here in the bottom of the third. And it's a ground ball foul outside the third baseline. We'll get inside the game with the Adams County Regional Medical Center coaches' comments after our final out, presented by ACRMC Family Medicine. Once again, Kevin Pickrell behind the plate, Eddie Deemer at first, Matt Carson at third. We don't often get to see 3 umpires regular season, and that pitch misses for a ball. And that the batter thought it was ball 4, excuse me. Instead, it's a full count at 3-2. Young will stand back in. 2 down. And it fouls back. But what we see here tonight, and this is no exaggeration, is one of the best tournament crews we'll see all season long. These 3 guys, all 3 of them have appeared at the state championship at one position or other as umpires. And very likely you'll see them as an entire crew as high as regional. And finally, that's the walk. Young knew what was going to happen, so he'll be now at first. First walk given up by Faring. Now to the plate will be Leland Horner. But these guys, again, how they choose umpires, if you follow basketball the same way they do baseball, or vice versa, baseball is chosen voting by the athletic directors and the coaches. And this is 3 of the best. So if you don't like this umpiring, you're probably not going to like any of it. Of course, you wouldn't be a fan if you liked all the umpiring, right? That's a fan's job, I think, is to dislike umpiring. 1 ball, no strikes. Horner stands in again. He closes that stance just a little bit. And a little pop fly foul back behind us. 1-1 now. If you have not checked out Good Guys Radio TV, please do so. It looks gorgeous tonight. Even prettier when the sun's out, but a little cloudy, but that doesn't matter. Still a great picture. You'll like watching the game. The pitch misses out. 2-1 now. On deck for Manchester, Landon Doyle, the second baseman. Defense now set for Fayetteville. There were changes when Fairing came in. May have to give that to you next inning. Swing and a miss. Let's try to do it now. Rugenstein still behind the plate. Braden Crone now at first. Ryder Lunkin is at second. A.J. Roy is at third. Parker Fancook at shortstop. Alex Williamson at left. There's the pitch, and it's a hard hit ball. Fly ball into right field. Short will attempt a diving catch. It gets through him. Rounding second, going into third. They'll hold him there. Will be Bryce Young, and Leland Horner is on with a single to right field. That was one of those short, probably should have just taken it, but you never know. That's a hard play to make. You cannot fault Tyler Short for that. As, again, Manchester has runners on the corner. Now 2 runs are already in. They've taken a 5-2 lead here. But again, in the outfield now, Alex Williamson is in left, Carter Gallinger is in center, and Tyler Short is in right. And that's a foul outside the third baseline, strike 1. Both of these teams very, very young. And, of course, not only high school baseball is not as perfect as the major leagues. And I think sometimes people are a little unforgiving and hold the kids accountable for higher standards. But it is high school baseball. Not only that, but both of these teams, again, as I said, very, very young. You're going to see young mistakes here. But that makes it fun, makes it competitive. The pitch again, good-looking pitch. It's grounded to the shortstop. Fancook plays it. He'll throw it to second. That'll be the third out, but not before Manchester scores 2. They strand 2. We move to the top of the fourth. Fayetteville Bats trailing 5-2. We're back after this on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, brought to you by CMT Components on the SHAC Sports Network.
Whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or baseball, no matter the sport, the Manchester Athletic Boosters are proud to support it. Games like these are possible due to booster support like the Manchester Athletic Boosters. The Manchester Athletic Boosters are proud to support this broadcast of Manchester Sports. Wishing good luck to our Manchester Greyhounds. Go Greyhounds!
Big box home improvement stores don't brag about their customer service and knowledgeable staff, and that's because they rarely have either one. Do you really want electrical and plumbing advice from a person who was assembling patio furniture yesterday? Nope. Get what you need from the pros at West Union Electric and Plumbing Supply. They now have an expanded hardware line to complement the electrical and plumbing parts, plus handy tips and advice to help you get the job done. West Union Electric and Plumbing Supply, 1 block south of the courthouse on Walnut Street in West Union.
Goodbye winter, hello spring. Longer days brings extra time to come to Jerry Haig Motors and look at our inventory of new Chevrolets and a great selection of local trades. Truck Month is back with 2.9 APR financing for up to 72 months on selected 25 Silverado 1500s to well-qualified buyers. At Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro, we want your trade and will offer top trade allowance. No gimmicks or tricks. I'm Steve Haig and I want your business.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The score 5-2. Fayetteville will bat. Still on as Tyler Short stands in, and the first pitch, he's hit by a pitch. And it's been almost like a stuck record. Traven Hildebrand has started every inning with a runner at first base. He's had to pitch himself out of a jam and done it very successfully most of the time, predominantly. He'll have to do it again. Now with a runner on first, Caleb Fairing, the leadoff batter, will come to the plate. Caleb is 0 for 2. He reached in the first inning, and he shows bunt. Nice little bunt down the first baseline. Inman will play it. He flipped it to the covering second baseman, Doyle, but they missed the runner. And I assume they would score that as a infield single. That'll put runners at first and second now with nobody out. And now to the plate, Ryder Lunkin, the second baseman. And we've got, and Hildebrandt's been called for a balk. Again, we see several of those a year in high school baseball. Again, now you'll have runners on second and third. Lunkin at the plate. The pitch, low, ball one. Top of the fourth inning here at Manchester High School. Get rolling before each game with the Magulac Tire Service starting lineups. Remember, Magulac Tire Service for all your tire needs on the road and on the farm. And that's called strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. We also want to thank Roberts Paving. We talk about those tires. Put those tires on the road. Roberts Paving. They keep our as it's a fly ball, shallow behind the second baseman. He's out, cannot make the play. It's off of his glove. A run will score. That'll go down as an error. The ball gets past Barnhart, but he does a good job of covering it. So that'll be a fly ball to second base with an E4. 1 run scores. So that'll bring the score now to 5-3. Manchester still leading. We're going to have a conversation on the mound. Trey Mead. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this on Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components and C103.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
Your plan is ready. It's time to build. At CMT Components, we design and manufacture quality building materials for your custom job. If you need metal panels and trim, trusses, or even a complete pole barn package, we do it all, including delivering right to your job site. To get started, call us at 937-446-3400. You can also check us out online or stop by our office in Sardinia, Ohio to discuss your plans today. Let's get building.
Creating a memorial to honor a lost loved one is a time-honored tradition. Whether it's a graveside monument, a cremation monument, or a pet memorial, the craftsmen at People's Monument Company will walk you through every step of the process, from concept to completion. Visit People's Monument Company, located on North Main Street in Peebles, and online at peoplesmonument.com. Choose People's Monument Company because sharing the life story of a loved one with those who matter most isn't just important today, it's important forever.
Craving something new? Snappy is serving up 4 brand new specialty calzones. Try the Meat Deluxe, packed with sausage, pepperoni, and bacon, or the Deluxe, loaded with a delicious mix of meat and veggies. Garden lovers, don't miss the Veggie Calzone. And for the ultimate combo, dive into the Chicken Bacon Ranch. Order now on the app or visit snappytomato.com. Snappy, where cravings meet their match.
Don't let a blown tire slow you down this season. Trust Magulac Tire Service in Hillsboro to keep you on the roll and in the field. At Magulac, they offer on-the-farm ag and tire service, saving you downtime and saving you money. Call Magulac Tire Service for all your tire needs at 937-364-2592 or stop in on Route 50 in Hillsboro. At Magulac Tire Service, their emphasis is on great service. That's more than just a slogan, that's the Magulac commitment every single day.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
What we believe matters because it shapes who we are. At First State Bank, we believe in rural communities. We have since our start in 1884. We're proud of where we come from. And while others have come and gone, we've remained, because standing by the folks you believe in is what a real local bank does. First State Bank, built on belief.
With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Your Edward Jones financial advisor, Ron Lynch, can help. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, we can work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 481 Tucker Drive in Maysville. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Crone chased one. One ball and two strikes. And now the pitch again, and he chases another one for a strikeout. There's one down. Runner remains at second base. To the plate will be Alex Williamson, the left fielder. Alex is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Had a fly ball to left field in the first. Had a fly ball to the little foul ball back to the catcher for the first out in the third. And that's a ground ball to the shortstop. Applegate will play it. The play will be at first. He throws it over. That'll be 2 down. On the play, the runner advances to third. So you'll have A.J. Roy at third. But now there's 2 down for Blake Rugenstein, the catcher, to come to the plate. Rugenstein has twice been hit by a pitch, and it's interesting because he really doesn't crowd the plate too much. And it's foul back off the fence, strike one. Rugenstein, a .273 batter. He's batted 22 times, 2 runs, 6 hits. One of those was a double with 2 RBIs. The go-ahead run only 90 feet away now in a tie ball game, and that pitch way high. Ball one. It's again time for that Higgins scoreboard update, brought to you by Higgins Steel Roofing in Hillsboro and Jackson. The score tied 5-5. Horner, the pitch, high again for a ball. We also want to thank Southern Hills Community Bank with locations throughout the SHAC. They want to wish our student athletes the best of luck. Southern Hills Community Bank, proud sponsors of this coverage. The wind of the pitch again, high and out, 3-1. On deck now, Parker Fancook, the shortstop for the Fayetteville Rockets. By the way, Fayetteville here in their white uniforms, green numerals trimmed in black. Their colors are green and black. I guess green, black, and white would be more appropriate, or more accurate, I should say. And that's a little pop fly, shallow. The second baseman, Doyle, is there. Instead, the shortstop will wave him off. He'll make the play, 3 outs, but not before. Fayetteville scores 3. They tie the game at 5-5. We're back after this on Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components and C103.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxter Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxter Tractor.
C103 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV are your source for everything local. From SHAC basketball
Shot by Osborne, 3 on the buzzer!
to SHAC baseball,
Wells is going to try. He makes it. He's safe.
Western Brown football,
Throws it towards the end zone, and it's complete.
to SHAC volleyball,
Hatton for the kill, it's good.
local fairs, festivals, and more.
Ire to the finish line.
Crosses the line to get the victory.
Never miss a moment with C103 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
Whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or baseball, no matter the sport, the Manchester Athletic Boosters are proud to support it. Games like these are possible due to booster support like the Manchester Athletic Boosters. The Manchester Athletic Boosters are proud to support this broadcast of Manchester sports. Wishing good luck to our Manchester Greyhounds. Go Greyhounds!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, again. We're at Manchester High School. Score tied 5-5. And that first pitch is in, called strike one. It'll be Rickett, Hildebrand, and Applegate in that order in a tie ball game. The score is 5-5 on our sister station. They're bottom of the seventh. 3-1 Peebles leads in that game, and the pitch high and in. Ball one. Rickett walked in the second inning and was stranded. Manchester scored 3 in the second, 2 in the third. And a pitch called strike two. Rickett, a .250 batter, has 3 hits, .438 on base percentage, and he pops that one back behind us out of play, and the count will remain 0-2. I mentioned them before, I believe, Southern Hills Community Bank, locations throughout the SHAC. We certainly appreciate Southern Hills Community Bank, proud sponsors of our coverage. So good to be back to baseball. The weather at least giving us a bit of a break. I guess the rain coming in just in time to spoil a lot of Easter plans. And it's a ground ball in front of the plate. The pitcher will have to make a quick throw. He throws it offline, and the runner is safe. That was just kind of a nubber off the bat toward the third baseline. Faring had to cover it off of the coming off the mound. Safe at first is Rickett with the go-ahead run. Hildebrand will come to the plate. Hildebrand 0 for 2 in the ball game. He's batted 18 times, 6 runs, 5 hits, 6 RBIs, 7 stolen bases, a nice .409 on base percentage, and a .278 batting average. On deck now, Luke Applegate. As again the pitch, and it's called strike one. On the mound, Caleb Faring in relief of Tyler Short. Behind the plate, Blake Rugenstein. First base, Braden Crone. Ryder Lunkin is the second baseman. A.J. Roy is at third. Parker Fancook, the shortstop. That pitch high. They throw down to second base. And the runner is safe, I believe. I cannot see. I am blocked by a catcher and a batter and an umpire. And yes, the runner is safe. So Rickett moves over to second. Now you have the go-ahead run in scoring position. Hildebrand stands back in the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hildebrand, a right-handed batter, shows bunt, drops it down off the third baseline. Good-looking bunt. He'll quickly go down to first base, and they'll call him out, but that'll be a sacrifice bunt to move the runner over. So he'll have Rickett in scoring position now. And with 1 down, Luke Applegate will come to the plate. Luke is 1 for 2, had a double to right center field and scored a run in the third inning. As the pitch called strike one. From the bottom of the fourth inning here at Manchester High School. Manchester batting And a pitch high for a ball. Applegate at the plate. Clayton Colvin on deck. Again, the go-ahead run 90 feet away at third base. The pitch again, high and in, and they throw down to third, but the runner's back. Actually, a really nice throw down by Rugenstein. A good cover there by Roy, but Rickett wasn't buying. He was did a nice job getting back on his belly. Applegate will stand back in, ahead in the count 2-1. And he grounds the ball foul outside the third baseline, and it'll even the count at 2-2. Applegate, a right-handed batter. Now they're leaving him a pretty good size hole over in left center field. They're protecting the line with Williamson shaded over toward the third baseline, but they have moved off of that first baseline a bit. They've closed up that hole in right field. I had mentioned earlier in the ball game they were shading way over toward first base line. 2-2. Caleb Faring, one of the seniors on this ball game, on this ball club. I talked about the age of these teams as it's ground ball to the third baseman. Nice play by Roy. He'll throw it to first, but it bounces and it will get past the first baseman, and the runner will get his bag because they're going to call interference, I believe. Yes, they will call interference. So safe at second will be Applegate with an RBI. I don't know. That's going to have to go down as an error, and I think we're going to have, I'm not sure what we're going to do, but as the go-ahead run scores as Rickett comes to the plate. Chris Snyder, the coach, out to talk to his team. Manchester now takes a 6-5 lead. Is on the play. Applegate moves over to second. I'm going to credit him with an infield single, but there's an error on the throw. So that'll go in for an infield single with an E5. And again, Manchester takes a 6-5 lead. Fayetteville is yet to lead in this ball game. Manchester led at one point by as much as 3-0, and that pitch gets away from the catcher. And Applegate moves over to third now. One ball and no strikes on Colvin, the left-handed batter. He's 1 for 2 on the night. As the pitch down for a ball. Had a bunt single to the pitcher, stole a base and scored a run in the third inning. Now Manchester scored 3 in the second, 2 in the third, and now they've scored 1 here in the fourth. There's still only 1 down. Swing and a miss. He chased an outside fastball. Probably would like that one back. Left-handed batter facing a right-handed pitcher. Swing and a miss. He chased one down and in. Faring does a nice job moving it in and out, up and down. So now the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. As again the pitch and little pop fly in foul territory down the third baseline, off the fence, out of play. Just this side of the Manchester dugout. Not a whole lot A.J. Roy, the third baseman, could do with that one. We were talking about that hole in right field. They've now moved back over, shading the line toward Colvin. So he moved that outfield up and opened that hole up in right center field. The center fielder also shading a little bit toward right as well. And it's a foul ball, I believe it is. The third baseman, Roy, will chase it again. This one out past third base. They're going to wear him out. We'll stay 2-2 now. On deck, the catcher, Thomas Barnhart for the Manchester Greyhounds. I think I mentioned earlier, back on the air Monday, Peebles at Lynchburg Clay. Wow, Lynchburg Clay, we've not been able to see them yet this year. We've had them scheduled 2 or 3 times. We're going to have them seemingly every game going on because of the reschedules. Lynchburg atop the league, the only team undefeated in the league is pretty potent baseball team. Cole Wells leads the team, second in the league with batting average at .615, and a hard hit ball to center field. The center fielder Gallinger will haul it in. Tagging and scoring is Applegate. Manchester will take a 7-5 lead on a sacrifice fly to center field by by Clayton Colvin. Give him an RBI. And now we have 2 down. But as I said, Manchester's now taken a 7-5 lead as they retake it here in the bottom of the 4th. Jacob Day from West Union, a .643 batting average, leads the league. Cole Wells from Lynchburg, a .615. Pitch high and in for a ball. Why do I mention him? Well, he leads in home runs with 4, Wells does. He also has the most RBIs with 15. He also, in pitching, leads the league with 33 strikeouts and with 4 wins, as that's a pop fly, shallow left field. The third baseman is out. A.J. Roy will make the play. That's the third out, but not before Manchester takes the lead. They lead 7-5, scoring 2 runs here in the inning. We're back after this. We move to the top of the 5th. The score is 7-5. Manchester leads on Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components and C103, your SHAC Sports Radio Network.
Big box home improvement stores don't brag about their customer service and knowledgeable staff, and that's because they rarely have either one. Do you really want electrical and plumbing advice from a person who was assembling patio furniture yesterday? Nope. Get what you need from the pros at West Union Electric and Plumbing Supply. They now have an expanded hardware line to complement the electrical and plumbing parts, plus handy tips and advice to help you get the job done. West Union Electric and Plumbing Supply, 1 block south of the courthouse on Walnut Street in West Union.
Goodbye winter, hello spring. Longer days brings extra time to come to Jerry Haig Motors and look at our inventory of new Chevrolets and a great selection of local trades. Truck Month is back with 2.9 APR financing for up to 72 months on selected 25 Silverado 1500s to well-qualified buyers. At Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro, we want your trade and will offer top trade allowance. No gimmicks or tricks. I'm Steve Haig and I want your business.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
Your plan is ready. It's time to build. At CMT Components, we design and manufacture quality building materials for your custom job. If you need metal panels and trim, trusses, or even a complete pole barn package, we do it all, including delivering right to your job site. To get started, call us at 937-446-3400. You can also check us out online or stop by our office in Sardinia, Ohio to discuss your plans today. Let's get building.
We come back, ladies and gentlemen, and first pitch is in, called strike 1. That game on our sister station, Peebles won it 3-1. They finished that game. Peebles improves their record to 3-3 and 3-5. They even their league record. It's a ground ball to the shortstop. Applegate will play it. He'll throw it to first. 1 down. That'll bring Carter Gallinger to the plate. North Adams, on the other hand, they dropped to 1-3 and 1-5. They're in 5th place in the as that pitches a ball. At the plate now, Carter Gallinger. He'll be followed by Tyler Short. The pitch misses out for a ball. Out there for Manchester, Leland Horner on the mound, Thomas Barnhart behind the plate. Carson Inman is at first. Landon Doyle at second. Traven Hildebrand at shortstop. Swing and a miss. 2-1 now. Luke Applegate's the shortstop. Bryce Young is at left field. Clayton Colvin is in center. And Braylon Rickett is in right. And that's foul back behind us. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On Carter Gallinger. Carter is 0 for 1. He walked and was stranded in the second. Went down swinging in the third. He has now showed enough patience to run that count full at 3-2. See what Horner does here. And he tried to get him to chase a high fastball. Instead, he gives up the walk. So that'll bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Tyler Short. Tyler, a left-handed batter, is 0 for 1. He struck out for the second out of the second inning, but he was hit by a pitch and scored the 5th run of the ball game for Fayetteville. They trail 7-5. And I don't want to assume, and I always repeat this probably at least one time each game, we only play 7 innings in high school baseball. And that pitch misses, called strike 1. As I said, Jacob Day leads the league in batting average. Cole Wells in home runs, Cole Wells in RBIs. Earned run average, Jason Applegate for White Oak, tied with Cole Wells and Xander Rhodes. That's a little misleading because it's so not to diminish their accomplishment, but it is so early in the season. And that pitch called for strike 2. A lot of good pitching so far in the league. And there are years where we don't have as much, but this year several teams have multiple pitchers. And why do I mention that? Unlike major leagues, some teams it's tough to find multiple pitchers. And in high school, and that pitch high, once again we'll go 2-2. Batting averages, though, Day has a .643. Cole Wells is .615. Jace Morgan is at .588 for West Union. Zane Matthews and called strike 3. Second out of the inning. That brings Caleb Faring to the plate. Runner on first base. But again, Jace Morgan with a .588 batting average. Zane Matthews, a .529. Clayton Colvin, here on the Greyhounds team, .526. Second in the league in home runs here in Manchester, Thomas Barnhart with 2. And A.J. Roy for Fayetteville, and not pitching tonight, but he is 4th in the league with strikeouts with 24. And that pitch inside. 2-0. On first base is Gallinger. They throw over to first, and he's back. On deck, Ryder Lunkin. Faring at the plate representing the tying run. They throw back over to first again, and the runner is back. Defensively again, Leland Horner pitching. As that pitch high. 3-0 is what I have. And again the pitch. and he misses and walks him. That's the second walkout issued here in the inning by Horner. That'll put runners at first and second. So now Fayetteville, with the tying run at first, will bring Ryder Lunkin to the plate. Now Ryder is batted 20 times, 5 runs, 4 hits. He's had 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, with a .333 on-base percentage and a .200 batting average. And again, swing and a miss. He chases a high fastball. No balls and a strike. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Horner a little more methodical than Hildebrandt, and a little pop to the pitcher, a little number to the pitcher. That's the 3rd out of the inning. Horner works himself out of a jam. Fayetteville doesn't score. We're still 7-5. Manchester with the lead. We're back after this on Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components and C103 on your sports radio network.
Creating a memorial to honor a lost loved one is a time-honored tradition. Whether it's a graveside monument, a cremation monument, or a pet memorial, the craftsmen at Peoples Monument Company will walk you through every step of the process, from concept to completion. Visit Peoples Monument Company, located on North Main Street in Peoples, and online at peoplesmonument.com. Choose Peoples Monument Company because sharing the life story of a loved one with those who matter most isn't just important today, it's important forever.
Craving something new? Snappy is serving up 4 brand new specialty calzones. Try the Meat Deluxe, packed with sausage, pepperoni, and bacon, or the Deluxe, loaded with a delicious mix of meat and veggies. Garden lovers, don't miss the Veggie Calzone. And for the ultimate combo, dive into the Chicken Bacon Ranch. Order now on the app or visit snappytomato.com. Snappy, where cravings meet their match.
Don't let a blown tire slow you down this season. Trust Maggulac Tire Service in Hillsboro to keep you on the roll and in the field. At Maggulac, they offer on-the-farm ag and tire service, saving you downtime and saving you money. Call Maggulac Tire Service for all your tire needs at 937-364-2592 or stop in on Route 50 in Hillsboro. At Maggulac Tire Service, their emphasis is on great service. That's more than just a slogan, that's the Maggulac commitment every single day.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
The mound now, Blake Rubenstein behind the plate, Braden Crone at first, Ryder Lunkin at second, A.J. Roy is the third baseman. That pitch misses high, ball. The shortstop is Parker Fancook. In left field, Alex Williamson. Carter Gallinger in center and Tyler Short in right. And Fayetteville fans have to be pleased with the improvement on this ball club. This is a team that struggled mightily last year, and they may not have won every game this year, but they have certainly improved in their play. They are a much better looking baseball team. They're going to win some ball games, and they're going to get better. I mean, that's not always the case. We have teams that don't get better year after year. But Fayetteville getting better, and that's takes the count full at 3-2. As again the pitch, and Fayetteville finished the season last year 5-8, as they were in 4th place in the SHAC, as looks like we might have a pitching change. And on that note, we will take a break as Inman walks. He'll be at first. We'll be right back after this on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components at
What we believe matters because it shapes who we are. At First State Bank, we believe in rural communities. We have since our start in 1884. We're proud of where we come from. And while others have come and gone, we've remained, because standing by the folks you believe in is what a real local bank does. First State Bank, built on belief.
With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Your Edward Jones financial advisor, Ron Lynch, can help. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, we can work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 481 Tucker Drive in Maysville. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a pitching change. Caleb Faring will leave the ball game as Caleb leaves, and I'll give you that in just a moment. As in to pitch now is Braden Crone. Caleb leaves having walked one, gave up 3 hits, 2 errors, and 2 runs. This is his game to lose at this point. On the mound now will be Braden Crone. Braden, they throw over to first base, and Inman is back. So you have an add-on run at first base. Bryce Young at the plate for Manchester. The ball gets away from the catcher. The runner will advance. So now Inman will be at second. 2 balls and no strikes on Bryce Young. As Crone really taking his time. That pitch down in the dirt for a ball. Braden Crone has appeared in 3 games. He's pitched 5 innings, record 1-2. 3.6 whip. In relief of Caleb Faring, in relief of Tyler Short. And the count now 3-0. Crone, another left-handed pitcher. As I said, left-handed pitchers not that common at this level, and especially to see 2 different ones in one ball game from the same team. That's a curveball for a strike. Bryce Young at the plate. Leland Horner is on deck. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning here at Manchester High School. You know, thanks to First State Bank for making this broadcast possible. Learn more about First State Bank at your local branches. They walked the batter. They tried to throw down to third and get the runner, but they didn't. He will advance. So now Manchester with runners on the corner. Again, First State Bank. Learn more about First State Bank at your local branch in Southern Ohio or Northern Kentucky, or you can go online at fsb4me.com. It's time again for that Higgins Steel Roofing scoreboard update, providing professional materials to their professional customers. The score is Manchester 7-5, threatening again here, though, with runners on first and third. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Again, the pitch, and they throw down to second. Throw a little offline. Pretty good throw, at least his quickness, but a little offline. The runner is safe. Horner steps back in now. Ahead in the count 1-0. Right-handed batter facing the left-handed pitcher, and that one's way outside past the catcher, and another run will score as Inman comes home. Moving over to third base will be Young. So now Manchester takes an 8-5 lead. And the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. On deck, Landon Doyle for the Manchester Greyhounds. Crone. In a swing and a miss, Crone really taking his time. Probably the most methodical pitcher we've had yet tonight. It's the third pitcher for Fayetteville. Manchester has used 2. The pitch again, and he reaches out and gets one and drives it down the right field line, but the right fielder's over to make the catch. The runner at third will tag, and they get him coming home. Young is out. That'll be the second out of the inning. Horner, of course, is out on the pop fly. It looked like it would drop, but Tyler Short did a nice job covering up. He catches the ball just crossing the foul line down there for the first out of the inning. That'll bring Landon Doyle to the plate. Landon, the second baseman, he's 0 for 1 with a walk, and he scored a run, and he drops a little bunt just in front of the plate, a gorgeous bunt. They throw it down to first. They'll pull the runner off, pull the first baseman off, and Doyle is there with a bunt single. And Manchester immediately threatens again. So again, with a runner at first, this will bring Braylon Rickett to the plate. Braylon is 1 for 1 with a walk. He walked. That pitch gets way past the catcher again, and again the runner will advance. Landon Doyle will move over to second. Rickett walked and was stranded in the second. Singled, stole a base, and scored a run in the fourth. Baxla Tractor Sales in Seaman and Batavia. They are your local dealer for Kubota, Land Pride, Exmark, and more, supporting all our activities here on C103 and Good Guys and, oh gee, all the things they do for our community. It's really good stuff. Remember them. It's that time of year. You need a new mower. Maybe you just need some maintenance done. They'll take care of you. Baxla Tractor, and of course the ag guys already know about Baxla and all their Kubota equipment. As they throw down to second, the runner's back. 2-1 the count now. On deck is the leadoff batter, Traven Hildebrand, for the Manchester Greyhounds. We also want to thank Barber, Napa Auto Parts in Peebles and Hillsboro. Stop by Barber to keep your vehicle running and in top shape this summer. Relatively new owners just this year. We certainly appreciate them, as they have, again, the Napa dealership in Peebles and Hillsboro. You need to get that car back in tip-top shape. That's the people to visit. And the pitch way outside, and he walks him. That will again put runners on first and second. This time the leadoff batter, Traven Hildebrand, will come to the plate. Now Traven is 0 for 2, but credit him with a sacrifice bunt in the fourth inning. The score 8-5. Hildebrand, a right-handed batter, stands in. Pretty square stance. Bends his knee to compact that, and he fouls it off the third baseline. Strike one. You know, if you missed the 40th annual C103 All-Star Game, don't forget to head to goodguysradiotv.com to watch all the festivities on demand for free. Remember, this game will be archived as well. You can check it out anytime after the ball game on our website. Is a nice little bunt down the first baseline. Hildebrand will be there. He is very quick, and he loads the bases. Nice little bunt. I think he caught Fayetteville completely off guard. Crone was off the mound to try to play it, but Hildebrand quickly to first, so credit him with an infield single. Now the bases are loaded for Luke Applegate. Applegate comes to the plate. He's 2 for 3. Had a double to center field, scored a run in the third. Had an infield single and then moved over on an error as he hits a hard hit ball. It's in the gap. It'll go to the fence. Applegate is at first. He'll run first going into second with a double. With a 3 RBI double is coming in on his belly as Hildebrand. And they score 3, and they take an 11-5 lead here on the back of a Luke Applegate stand-up double to center field. Again, credit him with 3 RBIs. Scoring ahead of him was Doyle, Rickett, and Hildebrand. And pitch a curveball to Colvin. Ball 1. So that's the 4th run to score here in the inning, and it's a ground ball foul outside the third baseline. Applegate will go back to second. Colvin will come back to the batter's box. There's 2 down. They've scored 3 of their 4 runs here in the inning with 2 down. You know, before every game, it's Between the Baselines, brought to you by Ron Lynch at Edward Jones Investments. Listen in early and let Ron help you plan early for your future. Pitch high. Applegate bluffs a steal. He'll go back. Again, if you're just joining us, we're at Manchester. Manchester leading in the ballgame 11-5. And it's a hard hit ball into left field. It'll drop for a base hit. As Applegate will round third, he's coming home, and he'll score on a base hit to left field by Colvin. And now Manchester leads 12-5. That's a single to left field and an RBI for Colvin. He'll be at first now for Thomas Barnhart. Now Barnhart, the 9th batter to bat here in the inning, as Manchester has scored 5 add-on runs. They came into the inning leading 7-5. They now lead 12-5. Barnhart comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And that one gets past the catcher again, and the runner again will advance. So Colvin moves over to second. Barnhart walked in the third, but was caught stealing. He's the cleanup batter, .538 batting average, .632 on base percentage. It's been a quiet night for him. Let's see if he'll unload. The pitch way high. Nice job on the part of Rugenstein to keep that one in play. And Barnhart ahead in the count 2-0. And I think it's time to get another Higgins Steel Roofing scoreboard update. Higgins Steel Roofing, locations in Hillsborough and Jackson. The score 12-5, Manchester leading. And he jumps all over a fastball down and in, and it's a single to left field or into center field. Barnhart will hold, but that's an RBI single as Clayton Colvin comes around to score. And Manchester now leads 13-5. That'll put Barnhart at first, and that'll bring Carson Inman to the plate. Now this will be the second time in the inning Carson has batted. This is the 10th batter to bat for Manchester. As the pitch is inside, ball 1. As Manchester, of course, now takes a 13-5 lead. And the pitch now, and it's a pop foul back behind us, strike 1. We talked about other things. Well, the big one, don't forget, we're going to name our Snappy Player of the Game. Brought to you by Snappy's in Seaman and West Union. Bryce Young on deck. 2 outs in the inning, though. The pitch is down in the dirt for a ball. At first, Thomas Barnhart. Started to mention this earlier. We start these games in not a very big crowd, but as the evening progresses, the crowd gets bigger and bigger. And it's fun to watch because we're now starting to draw pretty good crowds for baseball and softball in the league, and that's a fun thing. Inman stands back in. He has 2 strikes. Pitch way high, and the runner will go. And the runner is safe. So now Barnhart will be safe at second with a stolen base. Full count, 3-2 on Carson Inman. Inman, as I said, he's had a nice night. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. And he jumps all over one, drives it right up the middle for a base hit. That'll score another run as Inman for the fourth time tonight is on at first. Give him a single and an RBI. Scoring ahead of him is Thomas Barnhart. That makes the score 14-5. Bryce Young comes to the plate. Now Bryce is 1 for 1 with 2 walks. He's been on 3 times. He scored once. That was back in the second inning. He scored the second run of these 14. As the pitch, inside, strike 1. Braden Crone on the mound now for Fayetteville. As currently Caleb Faring, the pitcher of record for Fayetteville. And it's a little pop fly in the infield. Crone will make the catch, but not before Manchester scores 7 more runs. They take a 14-5 lead. We're back. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning. Fayetteville bats after this here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components on your SHAC Sports Network.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxler Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxler Tractor.
C103, 99.5 The Edge, and Good Guys Radio TV are your source for everything local. From SHAC basketball
Shot by Osborne, 3 on the buzzer! Wow.
to SHAC baseball,
Wells is going to try. He makes it. He's safe.
Western Brown football,
Throws it towards the end zone, and it's complete.
to SHAC volleyball,
Hatton for the kill. It's good.
local fairs, festivals, and more.
Ire to the finish line.
Crosses the line to get the victory.
Never miss a moment with C103, 99.5 The Edge, and Good Guys Radio TV.
We come back, ladies and gentlemen. Fayetteville has dug themselves a bit of a hole. They trail 14-5. They'll send A.J. Roy, Braden Crone, and Alex Williamson to the plate in that order. On the mound, Leland Horner. Now, Leland has struck out 1. He walked 2, as he has now pitched 2 complete innings of the 5. Hildebrand pitched 3 complete innings, as we are again in the bottom of the 6th. And that pitch is in for a called strike 1. No balls and a strike. A.J. Roy, one of 3 seniors starting on this Fayetteville ball club. And he swings right through a pitch for strike 2. Horner bringing a little heat there. Get rolling before each game with the Magulac Tire Service starting lineups. Remember Magulac Tire Service for all your tire needs on the road or on the farm. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Roy is 3 for 3 in the ball game. And he looks at a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He singled to center field and was stranded in the first. Had a double to center field for an RBI and scored a run in the third. And had a double to center field and scored a run, for an RBI in the fourth. Fayetteville scored 5 runs, 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth. The pitch again, and he drives one toward the second baseman. Doyle will play it. He throws it to first, 1 down. That'll bring Braden Crone to the plate. Braden 1 for 3, had a double to right field, but was stranded in the third. Crone, a left-handed batter. Another one of those seniors. It's A.J. Roy, Braden Crone, as well as Caleb Faring, the 3 seniors starting on the ball club here. First pitch is in, ball 1. Second pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1. Big swing. The family at Wallace Thompson Funeral Home reminds you, stay alive, don't text and drive. Remember, distracted driving is not only against the law, it's dangerous, folks. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I may be guilty of talking on the phone now and again, but I am not guilty of texting. I don't know how anybody could do that. And that pitch in the dirt. We're even up again, 2-2. Alex Williamson, the left fielder, on deck. Manchester defensively playing pretty traditional, and that'll be called strike 3. Leland Horner, his second strikeout issued here in the ball game. Check that, make that his 3rd strikeout here in the ball game. 2 down for Alex Williamson. Alex is 0 for 3 in the ball game. And big curveball. Just misses, ball 1. That pitch is called strike 1. 1-1. And of course, it probably helps the crowd a little bit because the softball game is ended, and he nails Williamson right square in the middle of the back. That hurt. You could probably hear that over the air. He hit him pretty good. That'll be the first hit batter for Horner. Fayetteville has a base runner now. For Blake Rugenstein, the catcher, to come to the plate. Rugenstein has twice been hit by a pitch, stranded both times. He flew out for the 3rd out in the 4th inning. We are in the 6th. And it's again time for that Higgins scoreboard update, brought to you by Higgins Steel Roofing in Hillsboro and Jackson. The score, Manchester 14, Fayetteville 5. They throw over to first. The runner's back. Not only will our name our Snappies player of the game, we will nice curveball. Strike 1. Not only will we name our Snappies player of the game, but we'll have our ACRMC Coaches Comment Show. We'll talk to the winning coach as it's a grounder foul outside the first baseline. That'll be strike 2. That'll follow our ball game, as it always does, here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV. Manchester tied for first place in Division II in the Southern Hills Athletic Conference. Swing and a miss. Catcher dropped it, but it'll go down as a strikeout. That's 4 up, 3 down. They strand 1. We move to the bottom of the 6th. Manchester leading 14-5. We're back after this on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components on the SHAC Sports Network.
Whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or baseball, no matter the sport, the Manchester Athletic Boosters are proud to support it. Games like these are possible due to booster support like the Manchester Athletic Boosters. The Manchester Athletic Boosters are proud to support this broadcast of Manchester Sports. Wishing good luck to our Manchester Greyhounds. Go Greyhounds!
Big box home improvement stores don't brag about their customer service and knowledgeable staff, and that's because they rarely have either one. Do you really want electrical and plumbing advice from a person who was assembling patio furniture yesterday? Nope. Get what you need from the pros at West Union Electric and Plumbing Supply. They now have an expanded hardware line to complement the electrical and plumbing parts, plus handy tips and advice to help you get the job done. West Union Electric and Plumbing Supply, 1 block south of the courthouse on Walnut Street in West Union.
Goodbye winter, hello spring. Longer days brings extra time to come to Jerry Haig Motors and look at our inventory of new Chevrolets and a great selection of local trades. Truck Month is back with 2.9 APR financing for up to 72 months on selected 25 Silverado 1500s to well-qualified buyers. At Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro, we want your trade and will offer top trade allowance. No gimmicks or tricks. I'm Steve Haig and I want your business.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
They win it 3-2 in softball. I'm just picking on some of the folks because they told them I knew what a bomb was. But anyway, 3-2, Manchester Lady Greyhounds win that one. Manchester guys here trying to nail down their win here on the baseball field. As at the plate now, it'll be Leland Horner followed by Landon Doyle and Braylon Rickett in that order. They lead 14-5 is the score. Horner comes to the plate. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game, and it's a high pop fly in the infield. The shortstop is over. He'll make the play. 1 down. Fancook just had to wander. Caught it about right at second base, and that'll be 1 away. That will bring Landon Doyle to the plate. Now Landon is 1 for 2 with a walk. He walked and scored a run in the second. Had a bunt single, scored a run in the fifth. The right-handed batter stands in. Came to the game with a 308 average. That says something about how good Manchester's baseball team is when you have your number 8 hitter with a 308 average. That's a pretty nice number now for a number 8 hitter at any level. By the way, I'm Don Bowles. Again, we want to thank Matt Hildebrand, our producer-director on Good Guys Radio TV, and Bethany Gibson, always doing a great job. She's our studio producer tonight. And I believe, because I think they quit putting the count on the scoreboard, I believe it's 2-0. I should have kept that count, shouldn't I? And I believe that'll make it 3-0. Crone on the mound has been laboring, and that's called a strike. On deck, the right fielder, Braylon Rickett. I want to make sure everybody knows we're off tomorrow night, and that's a strikeout. Called strike 3. 2 down now as Braylon Rickett will come to the plate. Now, Braylon is 1 for 1 with a single to and a stolen base and scoring a run. He also has walked twice. He walked once and was stranded. That's foul back out of play, or I should say actually off the catcher's equipment. And then he walked and scored a run in the 5th. So he scored twice, walked twice, stole a base, On deck, your leadoff batter, Traven Hildebrand for Manchester. Pitch high and in for a ball. Once again, back on the air on Monday. Peebles at Lynchburg Clay. Then Tuesday, another doubleheader. It'll be Fayetteville at White Oak on C103. And then North Adams at Manchester on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV. As we'll be back down here with that ball game, and that's inside for a ball. The audience is kind of quiet here, though. Pretty good hike down here for Fayetteville, so not a big audience, but Manchester, a lot of people here, and he walks him. So Manchester has a base runner for Traven Hildebrand to come to the plate. Traven is 1 for 3, had a sacrifice bunt in the 4th, had a bunt single and scored a run in the 5th. Right-handed batter, stands in to face the left-handed pitching Braden Crone. Pitch now, high and in, ball 1. 1-0. There's 2 down. Now, when we go back to the 7th, Fayetteville will send Parker Fancook, Carter Gallinger, and Tyler Short to the plate in that order. They throw over to first. The ball gets away, but the runner will hold. As Hildebrand steps back in. As Crone really taking his time, pitch high. It's a fastball. 2-0. Luke Applegate on deck. Boy, he has been the power tonight. He's had 2 doubles. As a line shot into right field, but the center fielder will be there. Gallinger hauls it in for the 3rd out of the inning. We move now to the top of the 7th. Fayetteville bats. They trail 14-5. We're back after this on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components on the SHAC Sports Network.
Your plan is ready. It's time to build. At CMT Components, we design and manufacture quality building materials for your custom job. If you need metal panels and trim, trusses, or even a complete pole barn package, we do it all, including delivering right to your job site. To get started, call us at 937-446-3400. You can also check us out online or stop by our office in Sardinia, Ohio to discuss your plans today. Let's get building.
Creating a memorial to honor a lost loved one is a time-honored tradition. Whether it's a graveside monument, a cremation monument, or a pet memorial, the craftsmen at Peebles Monument Company will walk you through every step of the process, from concept to completion. Visit Peebles Monument Company, located on North Main Street in Peebles, and online at peeblesmonument.com. Choose Peebles Monument Company because sharing the life story of a loved one with those who matter most isn't just important today, it's important forever.
Craving something new? Snappy is serving up 4 brand new specialty calzones. Try the Meat Deluxe, packed with sausage, pepperoni, and bacon, or the Deluxe, loaded with a delicious mix of meat and veggies. Garden lovers, don't miss the Veggie Calzone. And for the ultimate combo, dive into the Chicken Bacon Ranch. Order now on the app or visit snappytomato.com. Snappy, where cravings meet their match.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Parker Fancook, Carter Gallinger, and Tyler Short will come to the plate here. As count now 1 ball, 1 strike on Fancook. We are in the top of the 7th. Now remember, we only play 7 innings, so unless Fayetteville can put on one heck of a rally here, our ball game will be over. As Horner the pitch, swing and a miss. He pours in a fastball on the outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Manchester has dented the plate 14 times tonight. They lead 14-5. As Fancook chases one on the outside for strike 3. That'll be 1 down. And that brings their right fielder, Carter Gallagher, to the plate. Now, Carter's 0 for 1, but he's walked twice. Walked and stranded in the second, walked and stranded in the fifth as he takes strike one. Again, Fayetteville scored 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth. Manchester, on the other hand, scored 3 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 7 in the fifth. And that huge as it's a foul out of play down the first base side. Strike 2. As, again, Horner a little more methodical than the other pitchers, but certainly not a criticism. He's getting it done. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's just interesting to watch the rhythm. This has been a game that hasn't had a lot of rhythm. It's just been kind of, up and down. Sometimes it just kind of flows. Not tonight. Baseball has a pitch outside. And the count goes full at 3-2. There's 1 down. Gallagher, a right-handed batter facing right-handed pitching Leland Horner. Pitch high and he walks him. That's the 5th walk issued here in the ball game by Horner. That's the 3rd walk that Gallagher has drawn. And now that'll bring left-handed batting Tyler Short to the plate. Tyler right now was the starting pitcher. He is not the pitcher. Yes, he is the pitcher of record, excuse me. As this is his game to lose. As the count now goes 1 ball, 1 strike. Left-handed batter. Runner on first base. They throw it to first and the runner's back. Gallagher back on his belly. Fayetteville came into the night 2-6 and 2-3. 2-3 in league play. Pitch misses, ball 2. Manchester, on the other hand, they're 4-2 and 2-1. As I said earlier tonight, North Adams loses to Peebles 3-1. Caleb Rayburn and Ken Smith bringing you that ball game on 99.5 The Edge. And also here on the back of a bomb by as a swing and a miss. As Manchester wins a softball game 3-2. That bomb by Riley Young, by the way. And the count now going 2-2. And I'm wondering if Leland Horner isn't getting a little tired. As, again, Short taking him to the limit here. The count full at 3-2. Swing and a miss, and he strikes him out. Chased a high fastball on the outside for the second out of the inning. Gallagher remains at first. And out of the plate will be Caleb Faring. Faring has come to the plate. He was 0 for 2, but he reached on an error in the first inning and was stranded. As the runner advances, they threw over first. It got away from the first baseman. So you'll have Williamson at second. And check that. Had that wrong. Gallagher at second. Score 14-5. There's 2 down. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Unless Fayetteville can score 9 runs with 2 outs here, our ball game's over. It's a little pop fly in the infield, but out of play. Well, it's actually down the third baseline, foul. Out of play. Just out the reach of just out of the reach of Thomas Barnhart. A lot of good catchers this year in the league. Barnhart's one of them. They're fun to watch. They work hard. Boy, that's a workman's position. Swing and a miss. Now Manchester, one strike away from winning this ball game. Fairing stands back in. Horn of the pitch. It's a ground ball to the second baseman, Doyle. He'll play it, throws it to first. Third out of the inning, and that's the ball game, folks. Manchester wins it 14-5. We will take a quick break. We'll be back. Up next, we will have our ACRMC Coaches Comment Show. We'll name our Snappies Player of the Game. We'll have individual and team stats and much more. But first, this here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV presented by CMT Components, the SHAC Sports Network.
Don't let a blown tire slow you down this season. Trust Magulac Tire Service in Hillsboro to keep you on the roll and in the field. At Magulac, they offer on-the-farm ag and tire service, saving you downtime and saving you money. Call Magulac Tire Service for all your tire needs at 937-364-2592 or stop in on Route 50 in Hillsboro. At Magulac Tire Service, their emphasis is on great service. That's more than just a slogan. That's the Magulac commitment every single day.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we begin to wrap things up here at Manchester High School, as we have individual and team stats, of course, to report to you yet. As a tough loss for the Fayetteville Rockets, and the losing pitcher will be Tyler Short. He's the starter. As he struck out 4, he walked 3, gave up 4 hits. There were 2 errors, and he gave up. He is not the losing pitcher. He's the starting pitcher, as he gives up 5 runs. The losing pitcher, Caleb Fairing, as he walked 1, gave up 3 hits. There were 2 errors, and he gives up 2 runs. In relief, Braden Crone came in, and Braden walked 2, gave up a total of 6 hits. There was 1 stranded, and he gives up 7 runs. The final score 14-5. Now for Manchester, Traven Hildebrandt started the ball game. Actually had a pretty good beginning as he struck out 3, walked 1, gave up a total of 4 hits. He hit 4 batters. There were 2 errors behind him that were kind of costly. They stranded 6, and he gave up a total of 3 runs. The winning pitcher, though, Leland Horner, he pitched 4 innings, 4 complete innings, as he struck out 6. He walked 5. There was 1 hit batter, as he is the winning, as he gives up 2 runs, as he's the winning pitcher of record. Again, the final score 14-5. We will have our ACRMC Coaches Comment Show. We'll name our Snappies Player of the Game and much more, as we will have a conversation with Trey Mead, the coach for the Manchester Greyhounds here, as his team comes away the winner again. Or I say again, I repeat it again, I guess is what I should say. Again, Fayetteville record drops to 2-7 and 2-4. Manchester, on the other hand, improves their record to a total of 5-2 and 3-1. Let's take a look at the Fayetteville Rockets and their individual stats. Caleb Fairing was 1 for 3 with a walk. He reached on an error in the first inning but was stranded, had a bunt single and scored a run in the 4th, walked and was stranded in the 5th. Ryder Lunkin was 0 for 3 and hit by a pitch. As he was hit by a pitch, stole a base and scored a run in the 3rd. He reached on an error, an E4, and scored a run in the 4th. A.J. Roy, the most prolific hitter of the night for Fayetteville, he was 3 for 4. had a single to center field and was stranded in the first, had a double to center field for an RBI and scored a run in the third, had another double to center field for an RBI and was stranded in the fourth. Braden Crone was 1 for 4 in the ball game as he had a double to right field and was stranded in the third. Alex Williamson was 0 for 3 and hit by a pitch. He was hit by a pitch there in the sixth inning, but stranded. Blake Rugenstein was 0 for 2 and twice was hit by a pitch. As he was hit by a pitch and stranded in the second, hit by a pitch and stranded in the third. And then Parker Fancook was 0 for 3, but reached on a fielder's choice as he hit a ground ball to the third baseman, reached on a fielder's choice, and stranded in the second. Carter Gallinger was 0 for 1, but he walked 3 times. He walked and was stranded in the second, walked and was stranded in the fifth, and walked again there in the seventh inning and was stranded once again. Tyler Short, Tyler was 0 for 3, but hit by a pitch. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the fourth inning. Once again, they scored a total of 5 runs on a total of 4 hits and 6 walks and 2 errors. Now, let's take a look at the Manchester Greyhounds as we prepare for the ACRMC Coaches Comment Show. Traven Hildebrand was 1 for 4 as he had a sacrifice bunt in the fourth inning, had a bunt single in the fifth inning and scored a run. Luke Applegate, the big hitter tonight, was 3 for 4, had a double to center field, scored a run in the third, had an infield single, moved over an air and scored a run in the fourth, and a double to center field and 3 RBIs in the fifth. Clayton Colvin was 2 for 3 with a sacrifice, had a bunt single, and stole a base and scored a run in the third, had a sacrifice to center field for an RBI in the fourth, had a single to left field for an RBI and scored a run in the fifth. Thomas Barnhart, 1 for 3 with a walk as he walked and was caught stealing in the third. He had a single to left field, stole a base and scored a run in the fifth. Carson Inman, good night for Carson. He was 2 for 3 with a walk, had a single to center field, scored a run in the second, had a fly ball to right field, reached on air but was caught stealing in the fourth, walked and scored a run in the fifth, and then had a single to center field for an RBI and stranded also in the fifth as he batted twice. Bryce Young was 1 for 2 with 2 walks, had a single to right field, scored on a wild pitch, then walked and stranded in the third, walked and was stranded in, was forced for the out in the fifth. Leland Horner was 1 for 4, had a single to right field and was stranded in the third. Landon Doyle was 1 for 3 with a walk. He walked, scored a run in the second, had a bunt single, and scored a run in the fifth. And rounding things out, Braylon Ricketts was 1 for 1 with 3 walks as he walked and was stranded in the second, had a single to the pitcher, a little infield single to the pitcher, stole a base and scored a run in the fourth, walked and scored a run in the fifth, and walked and was stranded in the sixth. And hopefully we're going to have Trey Mead over pretty quickly, as we'll have our ACRMC Coaches Comment Show. We'll be naming our Snappy Tomato Pizza Player of the Game. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more right after this. As Trey's on his way over. We'll be right back with our ACRMC Coaches Comment Show. But first, this here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV. The Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components.
What we believe matters because it shapes who we are. At First State Bank, we believe in rural communities. We have since our start in 1884. We're proud of where we come from. And while others have come and gone, we've remained, because standing by the folks you believe in is what a real local bank does. First State Bank, built on belief.
With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Your Edward Jones financial advisor, Ron Lynch, can help. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, we can work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 481 Tucker Drive in Maysville. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our ACRMC Coaches Comment Show. Joining me here, Coach Trey Mead, the rookie coach for the Manchester Greyhounds. First time we've got to talk to you, Coach. Welcome to C103 and Good Guys.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Well, you've been around for a while, though. We've seen you since you were, what, about 2 feet high or something like that?
Seems about like that.
And just real quick, of course, Trey had a long career at North Adams High School. How different is it coming down to Manchester and coaching for North Adams, having played at North Adams?
It's not super different. I really enjoy being down here. Really enjoy the group of guys that I have. I really love the squad that we have, and it's baseball. So you put your uniform on and just go out there and compete and do the best you can do.
And to that point, and I hope people are not hearing what we're hearing, we're having a little bit of interference. So if you're hearing that, we will get through this anyway. But that said, you had the good fortune to inherit an awfully good baseball team, didn't you?
Yeah. Got a lot of talent.
Very, very young.
Very, very young, one senior on the roster.
Well, and plays a critical part on the roster. But I find it interesting, the improvement from last year. Last year, your team was extremely young, but you're still playing a lot of freshmen and sophomores, aren't you?
3 or 4 usually in the lineup every day. Yeah, with one senior and the rest are juniors.
But the good thing, of course, having last year's year under the belt, they don't play like underclassmen, do they?
That's the goal, at least. Sometimes we still have those little young mishaps, but we're working through those, striving every day just to get better and better.
Well, and I mentioned it earlier. It's still high school baseball. It's not perfect.
No means.
Yeah, by no means. And I think tonight was a perfect example of that. Your team looked young at times tonight, didn't they?
Very much so, especially there early on.
Well, and what we're talking about, I think it shows especially on defense, doesn't it?
But yeah, when we're hurt too, so we got guys kind of playing out of position, but I talk to them all the time. It's the next man up mentality. Wherever you're slotted, you just got to go in there and play to your ability, and if you do that, I'll be happy with you. But got a couple guys that out of position, and they did well for the most part tonight. Had a couple mishaps early and then came back later in the game, made a couple nice plays for us. So
well, and when we talk about that, again, unlike the major leagues or wherever, you don't have 15 pitchers in a bullpen.
No, you do not.
And when you're rotating through pitchers, you've got to switch positions. And when you're playing multiple positions, it's one thing to play multiple positions in a season, but it's a whole different thing to play it during one game, isn't it?
Very much so, very much so.
Now, tonight, I think you had to be, as I said, a little hurt. I think you had to be pretty happy with your pitching tonight, though, weren't you?
For the most part, early on especially, we gave away too many free bases with walks and hit by pitches, but then we kind of settled in there towards the third inning and just kind of rolled on from there. Well,
now that said, your team, I think on the good side, Fayetteville, I think an improved ball club from last year. They come back, they're down, they come back and they tie the ball game, and it didn't seem to rattle your ball club at all this time, did it?
We just kept responding, and that's all that I ask of them. We know that we're going to have the mishaps in the field, and they're going to eventually put up some runs, and as long as you just respond, that's all that really matters.
What was the difference in your ball club in the fifth inning?
We stuck to an approach at the plate. We've talked all year about trying to hit the ball back up the middle, hit the ball backside, so that way we're not flailing out on the away pitch, and we actually stuck to it. And I think we scored 6 runs there in the fifth with 2 outs, and I think every hit that we had outside of our bunt hits were gap to gap, and as a coach, that's what I ask for, and we went out and executed and put up a good inning there.
Well, and you worked the right field a lot tonight, and that's what we're talking about, center and right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, traditionally a lot of baseball teams, high school baseball teams, everything left field, or shortstop. You work the right side of the infield, and that's going to pay off for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something we work on every day in practice, too, is we want to stay up the middle, we want to hit the ball to the right field, and when they miss inside, you better be ready to hit it and hit it in the gap to left center. But we really try to stay up the middle and just have an approach at the plate.
Early in the season, where's your ball club? Where do you think your ball club is versus where it should be?
We're definitely better than we were yesterday, and hopefully tomorrow we're better than we are today. We're getting there. We still got the young mishaps, but they're slowly starting to dwindle. And I like where we're at. I like my squad a lot.
Well, and scoring throughout the lineup, all 9 batters contributed tonight. Great night for Luke Applegate. I liked Carson Inman tonight, only a sophomore, does a nice job at first base, but tonight he was 1 for 3 with a walk. Of course, you had Bryce Young was 1 for 2 with 2 walks, and there's nothing wrong with being patient at the plate.
Absolutely not.
And then you've got, of course, Thomas Barnhart continues to contribute, and Luke Applegate and Clayton Colvin. It was just again throughout the lineup, and then of course Traven Hildebrand even was 1 for 4 with a sacrifice. Again, you were playing the infield. You played small ball. You got doubles when you needed them, and pretty decent base running. A couple times a little
too aggressive.
Yes,
probably,
a little too aggressive. But we'll blame that on the coach, right?
Oh, 100%. It's all my fault. But I tell these guys, I'd rather you guys making out being aggressive than not at least attempt it and being timid. Like, we'll take. If you're aggressive, we'll live with it. But I don't want us to sit back on our heels and be timid with things. I want to apply pressure.
Talk about kids being wounded and a little under whatever. What's it look for like going forward for the league for the Manchester Greyhound fans?
We're getting healthier by the day. That Hayslip should be potentially back by the end of the year, and we just trying to get healthy. But we just got to go with what we got. If I've got 11 guys today, I got 11 guys today, and we're going to go out there and compete and try to go win a baseball game.
Well, Trey, congratulations! You're still a top Division II. It's going to be a big battle the rest of the season.
I believe so as well.
Boy, the competition is great this year in the league, isn't it?
The league's pretty well rounded this year. I would agree.
Trey, congratulations!
Thank
Great
you very
win.
much.
Trey Meade joins us here, our ACRMC Coaches Comment Show. We'll take one final break. We'll be back and name our Snappy Tomato Pizza Player of the Game. But first, this here on Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components and C103.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxler Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Baxler Tractor.
C103, 99.5 The Edge, and Good Guys Radio TV are your source for everything local. From SHAC basketball
Shot by Osborne, 3 on the buzzer! Wow!
To SHAC baseball.
Wells is going to drive. He makes it. He's safe.
Western Brown football.
Throws it towards the end zone, and it's complete.
To SHAC volleyball.
Hatton for the kill. It's good.
Local fairs, festivals, and more.
Ire to the finish line.
Crosses the line.
Manchester comes away the winner in the final score, 14-5. Could have gone 4 or 5 different ways. I like Carson Inman tonight. I think he may be the most improved player on the baseball team. Thomas Barnhart, cleanup batter. Boy, he just continues to contribute. Clayton Colvin as well. Luke Applegate, though, tonight was 3 for 4. He had 2 doubles, had a double to right center field, scored a run in the third, had an infield single, moved over on an error, and scored a run in the fourth. Had a double to center field for 3 RBIs in the fifth. A couple of doubles, a single, 3 RBIs. Luke Applegate, you are our Snappies Player of the Game. We certainly appreciate everybody listening in tonight. We hope you enjoyed tonight's baseball game. Again, we will be back on the air on Monday. Peebles at Lynchburg Clay as we continue our trek through the Southern Hills Athletic Conference. Again, Peebles at Lynchburg Clay on C103. Please join us for that. Thanks, Bethany Gibson, our studio producer, and Matt Hildebrand, our producer-director for Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components. I am Don Bowles, wishing you a very pleasant good evening. Once again, final score, 14-5, Manchester wins it. Luke Applegate, our Snappies Player of the Game, here on the SHAC Sports Network.
Thank you for tuning in. Rewatch this video and many more on demand at goodguysradiotv.com.